Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, everybody? Good morning. This is your boy Q. Welcome to MTG Live and welcome to the show on this morning. I see you, sis. I'm coming. I see you looking pretty already. So just hold your horses. I'm coming. What's up, everybody? Hey, listen, it's your boy Q. Listen, thank you so much for joining in on with us on this morning. This is going to be a great show. Welcome to, like I say, MTG Live, and we're continuing our series of what do women really want. Now, listen, I have one of our special guests on at this particular time. Listen, I don't know what my moderator is. I don't know what my co-hosts are. I don't know even where my guest co-hosts are. 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning is hard work. Let me tell you, that's a hard thing to do. But real quick, before I bring on one of my special guests, viewer and listener discretion is advised. Please understand that this conversation is our opinion and for your entertainment only. Please do us a favor. Age 21 to be able to watch, listen, and participate in our conversation on today. Listen, I don't need your mama, your daddy, your granny, your pappy, your sister, your brother, your auntie, uncle. I don't need them hollering at us because you decide you want to jump on or whatever the case it is, and you're not 21 years old. You go ahead and jump on in with us. Thank you so much again for you joining on this morning. Thank you, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everybody for listening and watching with us. But really quickly, as the people start to come on in and watch the show on today, I have a great special guest I'm going to bring on real quickly here because we need to catch up anyway. And if these jokers don't come on, me and her can run the show together. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for your listening and your viewing pleasure, I have my girl on this morning, Miss Mia Primes Williams. Good morning, sis. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
At you. You're so pretty. How are you? It's been a minute, right?
It has been a minute, friend. It's been a minute. I just want to
I,
say thank you for having me.
oh, listen. Now, when we saw each other last time at the podcast event, I had to bring you on the show. I had to bring you. And do me a favor, tell Koya I said, hey, Suge.
You know what? We need to invite her in. I need to make sure that she's watching.
Did you tell her you was coming on today?
I did. I've been so busy, with the nonprofit and stuff. Um, I just kind of lost track, but I knew I was ready to be here. That's why, like I said, you know what? Maybe I can put the link on my Facebook or my other platforms so people can tune in because I really, uh, when you invited me, I told you this would be a wonderful time
Right.
for me to be here, and so I thank you for this space.
You are absolutely welcome, and thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate that. Thank you again. I did tag you on Facebook, so take a look to see if you received the tag. Do
Okay.
us a favor, make sure you guys share this broadcast with your friends, your family, your foes, your frenemies, everybody that you don't like. Go ahead and share this broadcast because this is going to be great on this morning. And listen, like I said, sis, my other two co-hosts that host the show with me regularly don't know where they are. Not really concerned about that. My guest co-host don't know where they are. Everybody got the same thing on yesterday that you got. So maybe they'll start to pour on in a little bit, and we'll already be halfway through the conversation. And I don't mind.
Absolutely,
I,
absolutely.
so do me a
Hold
favor.
on, let me. It's asking me to change my password.
Oh, so you know what? Let me tell you something. I hate changing passwords. You know, ch-
Boy,
changing
boy,
passwords is
I'm
like.
too old for that.
Hey, moderator, thank you so much for coming on, moderator. You late too, but hey, moderator. My moderator is on. Thank you so much, moderator, for jumping on this morning. Like I said, I know that it's hard on a Saturday morning. So, sis, do me a favor while you are changing your password, and I believe you can multitask. Can you tell us a little about your nonprofit organization? Now, I got a little bit, and I still have the gift bag that you guys gave me the last time we were at the podcasting event, and I wanted to have you explain and tell everyone about your nonprofit, the name, where we can find you guys, and everything. So do me that favor and just give us all the information you got.
Thank you so much for this platform for me to explain who we are and what we do. So, our nonprofit, the government name is Social Justice Solutions,
Okay.
but our street name is Hoochies of Houston. And so, the reason I say the street name is because that's what we want to be known as change makers in the community. So what Hoochie stands for, because my daughter, who is the founder of the organization, felt that as women, as Black women, we're taking the power back from a word that has been historically used to demean and stereotype Black women or making them be hypersexual. It's always been a negative stereotype, but we took that term back. And
Okay.
so what Gucci stands for is humans overthrowing oppressive, controlling, harmful institutions with effective solutions. And our
Okay.
goal, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, that's what Hoochies are. And our mission is to uh, advocate for the social and systemic equity of all Black women. And we do that through social media advocacy programs as well as grassroots organizing. Right now, our primary focus is on reproductive justice. And reproductive justice, a lot of folks don't know exactly what that term means,
Yeah.
but it is the ability to have children, not to have children, and to rear them in a safe, stable environment. So we want folks to know that this is a term that was created by Black women.
Okay.
Lately, I know it's been a term that has been seen in lots of social media ads as a buzzword, but just for historical context, this was a word that was created by a term and a focus that was created by Black women. And so, one thing that we're doing right now is we have a campaign. It's called the Men All Pause. And Men All Pause is we're asking men to kind of step back and think how their voice can be a part of allyship in the reproductive justice movement.
Hmm.
Why is that? Because men and women together conceive babies, right? And so when you're living in a state, before it was when abortion access was easily accessible for everyone. Now it's not just about the women. Of course, we bear the brunt of of just carrying the baby alone, simply because the data shows that Black women are dying at a faster rate just
Wow.
to have babies these days. And believe it or not, Harris County is leading the country. The epicenter of the medical center has the highest rate for women dying during childbirth.
Really? Harris
Yeah,
County?
Harris County. Yeah, it's noted. Yes, Harris County.
That
Harris County.
is that is amazing to hear because I would have never thought about that.
Yeah,
What?
the epicenter right here in where the medical center is, where healthcare should be easily accessible for women. But what the data also shows is that 80%, hi, 80% of the deaths that are preventable.
So you mean to tell me that we're in the fourth largest city in this country? We have one of the largest counties in the country, the largest county in Texas. We have an 80% issue with women staying alive during childbirth, Black women.
Yes,
80%.
and let me correct that. 80% of the causes of death are preventable. So,
Preventable.
yes. So Black women are dying at the highest rate in Harris County in the country. But data shows that these deaths are 80% preventable.
Wow. Do you know that that I'm so glad that you're doing this. And hey, Alicia, good morning, sis. Thank you so much for joining the show. I'll get with you in just a second. I know you coming in. I know you tired. You know, I guess all my sisters up early in the morning after they work 17 hours for these people. For these people.
Sending love, Alicia.
And
Thank
so and
you.
so to hear you say this and to hear you talk about such a I'm gonna say taboo topic. It's still taboo within the black community. It's still taboo. And the straight ignorance of those who want to determine what a woman can do with her body in this state and in this time right now is overwhelmingly wonderful because there are women out there, little girls as well, who actually are in situations right now as we speak, and they're forced to do something that maybe they are not ready for. And then let's not even talk about the child protective services system where these children are born and they have no home to go to because half of people got bad credit. They can't afford anything. You have to bust your behind to work two or three different jobs just to even support one child, let alone think about taking in a foster. And let's not even talk about the neglect of some of these children that are actually being forced to be born in some of these homes that they are not welcome in. And it's really a sad situation. And I just want to say thank you so much for sharing that because it is really, really serious in this country, in this state, period. And I don't care what the people say. We all know who Hot Wheels is. Everybody in Texas know who Hot Wheels is. And you know,
Now look, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something, God dog it. So I'm gonna go out here on a limb. I know it may be controversial, but you know what? I don't give.
me either. Don't go.
Okay, so I we all say that about him.
Right.
I just think that Representative Crockett, like she has people that are in her constituency that she represents that are in wheelchairs. You
Yeah.
know, and so it was an ableist comment. That's all I'm saying. But she could
But
have.
she was
That's who
aiming
she
at
could have
one,
said in the group chat, huh?
but she was talking about one person. I understand. I see where you coming from, but she was talking about this jackass right here. Yes, he's
I
a
can't stand this
jackass.
motherfucking ass either, girl. I don't. You right.
I mean, well, I'm not gonna say that because everybody kind of know how I want to take them out, but let them go out with a bang. Let's just put it like that.
Let's see. Good morning, Alicia. How you doing this morning? I know you've been working really hard, sis. You hanging on like me. How are you doing this morning? Tell us what's going on with you. What's going down?
Man, it's raining. First of all, raining real hard. Luckily, I got home right before it started.
You
But
know, in Houston, we're supposed to get some rain later on. And if you guys are
uh,
in Dallas or in Texas, period, we have a cold front that's about to
it's here.
come through the state.
It's here.
And
Shh.
so on
It,
tonight, yeah, I
it was
know.
here. It was here last night.
Listen, I know y'all in Houston, we've been enjoying this little bit, this warm weather and stuff like that. But guess what? It's gonna get cold tonight, and it's gonna get to the 40s. So I want y'all to go on and pull on out that little scarf that you put up yesterday. You know, the one that you bought for Easter. Go on and pull it on out. You know, because you're gonna need it for the next few days. Okay, my
Uh-huh. But you ain't gonna need it for Easter because it ain't gonna be hot.
it's always how. Good morning, sis. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. My girl, Miss Aquarian Unique.
Hey
Good morning, sis.
everybody.
from
Hi.
Oklahoma.
Um,
How, how
from
are you?
Texas, just living in Oklahoma. Get it right. Get it right.
Just get it right, but you still Texan, baby, born and bred. Yeah.
Born and bred.
That's right, born and bred. Yeah. Okay, so everybody, listen, thank you so much for joining the show on today. We're gonna go ahead and get started. And jumping into the show. I'm pulling up the outline right now, and so we can go ahead and get started and have these ladies talking because I'm so interested in what y'all have to say about the topics on today. And listen, I just want to reiterate to you guys on last weekend. We had a show. We had episode number 3. We were going to be talking about romance, and as Judge Judy would say, we had a little kerfuffle going on. And but it's all right. Everything is wonderful. Everything is good. And I decided that we're going to go ahead and continue on with the series. We may go one more week. And I think maybe the last episode, we may talk about a few things that maybe has kind of been on my mind. Like I want to talk about interracial dating and how black women feel about interracial dating and also are black men in the place that we should be able to go after our black women. Is it too much for a black man to handle a black woman? I want to talk about that. I want us to definitely go into some of these conversations, but today we
We
got a
did.
whole great little show for you today. And sis, what you say, you had something you had to say? Go ahead, I'm listening.
I said, oh, it's gonna be cute today.
You are pretty.
It's gonna be cute today, huh?
It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be calm, cool, collected. Because I
Oh
see.
no, I'm talking about the letter that you finna get into. That's gonna be cute, huh?
Well, today I'm gonna play a video first. This is what I'm gonna do. I have the outline right here, but I'm gonna play a video first, and I want your opinions on this video. And the purpose of this video is to because we all have been here because we all grown people, and even from a male's perspective, we have been in this situation before. And so let me
Mm.
go ahead and cue this video real quick. Thank you, moderator, for helping a brother out on today. I sure appreciate it. Make sure you guys drop your comments. We do appreciate all that you're doing for us. But this video here is definitely one thing that happens in relationships a lot, and I wanted to actually talk about this because I want to know your ladies' perspective on this. And so this video is really cool. It's not that long, and I'm curating it right now for you guys. So you guys hold on for just a quick second or six, and I am going to share my screen by clicking that button right there. And here it is. Now you guys take a listen, and let me make sure I got it big enough for everybody to see because we want to make sure that everybody can hear and see. All right, here we go. Take a listen. Here we go.
We ever finished watching that Shark Tank from last week? See, I wish Damon could be in every episode. I don't know why they make him alternate with that Peter Pan looking white lady. Boy, stop. Are you even listening to me?
Of course.
Ooh, TGIT. Get it, Paola. Hey, did we ever finish watching that Shark Tank?
All right, so that was the video. That was the video. Real quick to the point, real simple. Young man is in the bed with his lady. He's at the house. She's into Shark Tank. She watching Shark Tank. She is in that thing. He is trying to get a little bit of loving, affection, whatever you want to call it. And she's not paying attention to him. Not that she's not really paying attention to him, but she is not in that place right now. So ladies, just by the sight of this video, and I'm gonna start with you, Mia. I want to start with you, and then of course everyone can chime in after me, of course. What do you just by looking at that clip? What comes to your mind?
Girl, what's wrong with you?
I mean,
Let me tell you, I was married for 20 years, okay? And that situation has happened. And you know what? Yeah, I'm watching it, but as I'm watching it, the pajamas are coming off. I'm gonna be like, boy, stop! You better quit playing. Yes, baby. And I'm gonna put that on rewind and go watch that later. You don't miss moments like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have just played right into it. It would have been a whole role play scene, and we would have both had fun. So yeah, what's wrong with her?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Definitely love it. Okay. Angelica, what you got? I'm sorry, Aquarian. What you got, sis?
Oh, you can call out the other name. That's fine. You know, I don't
Okay.
trip either way.
Okay.
Me personally, I'm with me on that. Look, my man can start it in the middle of sleep. I promise you, I'm finna catch up and wake up. It like there is never a moment where my man is gonna touch on me in a way where he lets me know he's needing my attention in that way. Then I'm gonna miss it because why would I? Unless
Mm.
I'm not attracted. If I'm not attracted to my man no more, then we got other issues. But as long as he keeping it spicy, I'm gonna keep it spicier every time. I promise you.
Oh wow. Okay.
Every
Alicia.
time. We're not gonna miss a moment. Look, if he want to start in the car, we gonna pull over in the car wash. I do not care.
Not the, did you say the car wash?
And automatically, the one where it just push you through. You know, the one where they just tell you to put your car in neutral. Yeah, we gonna go and get a real quick in the end. When it's finishing us off, we're gonna be finishing off. I'm not gonna play no games every time.
Okay, I'm with it. I'm with it. Alicia, what you got?
It's my remote, right? It's my remote. This is my remote.
That's your
Off,
remote. Oh, what's it?
off, off. Yes, ma'am.
Listen, I love it. I love it because y'all, you have no idea. Sometimes some of the pressures that you can relieve from your mate, whether it is the young man or the young lady. Sometimes, and don't get me wrong, I understand what his intention was, but as men, sometimes we just need that loving. You know, we need the touch, the affection. You know, we need something to relieve our day with. And a lot of different times, what happens is that when people we over sexualize affection, and because we are unable to connect sometimes in those moments, not it's not like the episode is not coming on again. It's not like you can hit pause because now everything is streaming. We're paying
Look,
for
I
streaming
promise you that
apps.
lady got that saved on her DVR or whatever. She got that saved on the backup. I promise you, it's with the other 45 episodes that's with that dang on show. She can go back and watch
Right.
it. It ain't never that serious.
Never.
Ain't never that serious.
She
Never.
already got it set, so there shouldn't be no excuse of
That's what I'm
why
saying. She got it set to
you up
record
here.
every day that it come on.
I mean, you
Good
probably
job.
seen the episode too many damn times. Nobody ain't got time. No, come here. No, we got
Look,
some
I'm doing
unfinished
look, I'm
business.
like her. What you say, baby? What?
Yeah.
Boy, you
Okay.
better stop
And you know
it.
what? And that's it. You know what? And I'm gonna even sprinkle a little bit more. Because if you looked at that video holistically, like she was covered up totally. Like she had the scarf on. She was like totally covered up. And for her man
To still want her
still
in that
want
state?
to.
Say, oh, you loving this bonnet? Let me show you how Miss Bonnie work, boo boo.
There you go. There you
Okay.
go. There
Let
you
me
go.
show you how Miss Bonnie work.
Okay. So
Oh, what?
you like you love me like you
No,
love me and
not her
all my
pulling out
fault.
the
Look,
bandana.
look. Let me tell you something. What they say in the church, Quincy. He looked beyond my faults and saw my needs.
On my knees.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
He
Yes,
looked
Lord. Speak
beyond
that
the
thing.
faults
Speak
of
that
that
thing.
scarf and that pajama top and them pajama bottoms, and was
Look, if I
like,
can find a way to make that bonnet tie my hands together so we can just do what we do, we finna do all of that.
There you
I'll let
okay.
you
go.
know. I'll let you know if I can get that done. I'm gonna try that today.
Okay,
Boy.
let me know if you can turn that bonnet into some
Cause
silk
if I can turn
handcuffs,
that bunny into, well, I
baby.
got handcuffs up. See, that's the thing. I got handcuffs.
But rope feel better. If you like me, Miss Janet Jackson taught me some things with that rope burn tool. Yes,
You
yes.
know what, sis? Okay, but see, you know what? Like, I live with ADHD, so I don't like to be constricted for too long. So I don't mess the mood up, baby, and tie my ass up, because I'm gonna tell this
Oh
whole.
no, no. The key gonna be right there. The key gonna be right there to where I can get it. I'm like, okay, we good.
Okay, look, get some stockings or something, some silky stuff, so I can get out myself. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah.
soft, the real soft.
Look, let me pretend like I'm escaping.
yes, like, yeah, give me some stockings or some, yeah.
Y'all
How much?
just don't know what I go through in my job. Being a security officer, it seems like every time I come through walking somewhere, I hear that damn Lil Wayne and Bobby Valentino talk about, oh my God. Talk about, go ahead and just cuff. If I cuff you, I'm gonna walk away.
You hear me? You hear me? Listen, ladies, thank you so much for enjoying the video with me. And listen, I agree with everything y'all saying. This is interesting. But let's get into the show, because I got some questions I want to ask y'all, because the fellas need to know, what do women really want? What y'all want? You know,
Wait a
what
minute,
you
I
What
got
I
a question. I
what
got a
time of
question.
day?
Where's Reggie? Because usually I'm used to Reggie chiming in.
Reggie and Mo gonna get rolled up.
Oh my.
Um, Cassie, I don't know where Cassie is. Reggie probably is not feeling good, because his lupus is acting up with the weather
Okay.
change, so
Yeah, 'cause
he might be
yeah,
sick.
'cause it is raining and it's really
We supposed to be getting snow up here today, so
Yeah, now Mo, I don't know. She probably at the gas station getting pick three numbers. I don't know where she is, and that's okay, because we did have a meeting and they knew that everything was going down, so they already know they got to deal with my mouth. Because I'm gonna say, man, what happened? Y'all missing my show, and
that
they already
mouth.
know it, so
I've been
they
doing that
already know
mouth
what's
since
going
high
on.
school. That mouth. Ooh,
I
I
know
feel
it's
so sorry for you.
but God has touched me. Somebody touched me.
yeah, there you go. There
We
you
don't
go.
Somebody.
know. Look, it may have felt heavily. That's what it was.
Okay. Yeah,
Hey,
you might be right, sis, on that. It may be in heavenly touch. I don't know if it was a holy touch, but it may be a heavenly touch. Mia is going in. She is going in.
okay, I'm back.
All right, ladies. So real quick, I like to call this segment, "What's Love Got to Do with?" What's love got
That's
to
Tina
do with
Turner.
it?
Secondhand emotion.
Hmm.
Secondhand emotion. Ain't that what Tina said?
That's what she said. Who needs a heart when a heart can be broken? That's what Tina said. That's what she
That
said.
what that lady said.
So, ladies, I want to ask you a question. How do you know when you're in love? How do you know when you're in love? When you are with your partner or someone that you're dating, maybe, and I'm painting the scenario for you guys, and I want to know from your experience. You're dating, everything's going pretty good. It's getting kind of serious. I can tell you, for example, for me, when a man knows, well, when I know that I'm in love, for example, and I'm speaking on behalf of guys, but not all of guys. For me, I can't get enough of your scent. I look for your scent. I can't find your scent. Like you can be near me or whatever, and you could walk right by me and I can detect your scent. And I'm not talking about your perfume. I'm talking about
No,
your scent. You know,
your
you know
pheromones.
the pheromones that's activating within me. I look for that on a constant basis. That's how kind of know I'm in love, when I can't live without your scent. Like, if you sat up in the bed with me and we watching movies or something, you decide to get up and go home, or you're going to the store, I'll grab the sheet and be like, it's a trigger response for me, and so that's kind of how I know that I'm in love, because I can't live without not just seeing you, but I need to detect where you are. And they say men are dogs, roof. They say they were dogs, but we can, we look for the scent, and listen, we'll know if somebody else's scent has been on you too. And so that, and from a man's smell, his scent, he knows when his wife is on her time of the month. He knows when she's not. I mean, his girl when she's not feeling good. He knows if she's not in the mood because there's a change in the scent. And so that's kind of how I know that I'm in love. So I want to ask you, ladies, how do you know that you're in love? Now, Alicia, I'm gonna start with you. How do you know when you're in love?
I know.
How you know?
Now, I'm a plus size female.
Okay.
And how I knew is, how they want to be in your skin, just all in your skin. And I hear this, you got that warmth. I just want to just lay right here, right next to you. And usually I'd be like, no, But if we laying next to each other, and I know I got that warmth pumping, and he's like, oh my God, ooh, ooh, Lord have mercy. So if I get up, he'll get the blanket and just wrap the blanket around until I come back. And I'll be thinking that is so
Mm.
cute. I'm
Oh
like,
wow.
oh,
So
you
you
mean
you
tell
for
me
a
I
man
can
that's
really take your
man.
I can take your heat too?
And
Wow.
you be getting hot sometimes too.
This one right
That
here.
too.
This one right
But
here.
I'm talking about if we were just let's say looking at TV or something, and it's a cold night, and I'm like, okay, look, I see you up there doing this, and you got more fat than I do, but come on, I'm gonna warm you up. You know, I know I'm in love like that, but also how I figure I was in love too, that the fact that, um it's the person you be thinking about, all day, you know, that just does something. You can't describe that, but that's that does something to you. You know you in love. You be like, that's mine. That's mine.
Okay, okay, okay. Angelica, what you got?
Okay, so this is a two-part situation. Mia,
Okay.
don't laugh at me. You can, but first, if I'm comfortable enough with you to be soft and gentle, because I'm a single, I'm a single mother. I raise my babies by myself.
Right.
So if I can just lay down that load and just be like, baby, can you tie my shoe for me? Yeah, I'm in love because I'm always I got this all by myself. Just if I can just lay back and drop every masculine bone in my body and just not even be thugged out Angie or tomboy Angie, I can just be girly Angie. You look at me and I start blushing like I'm in the hospital, like, what are they looking at me? Yeah, that I know I'm in love. Secondly, as I call it, I will act completely like a gothic golden retriever. I'm just happy to be around you, but I will also commit crimes behind you. Don't play with me because I'm super duper toxic when it comes to that. Like,
Oh
I love
wow.
you, baby, but let that bride look at you the wrong way. I promise you, we're gonna have her eyes hanging on the wall, baby. Do not do me.
Well, darn. I
So
mean,
it's so it I mean, like, yeah. If you get all of that from me, then you ain't going nowhere, Bookie Bear. We forever.
okay, okay,
Bookie
okay,
Bear, we
okay,
are forever. What you mean you finna go to the store without me? No, we going together.
okay. So Alicia got the skin crawler, and Angelica, got the lovey-dovey puppy eyes, but toxic behavior.
Yes, yes. I mean, but I do warn. That's the difference. It's like I don't just throw toxic at you as a surprise. Baby, look, if I really care about you, just know I will slit tires and throats behind you. So please don't play with my emotions. Before you ride this ride, understand there is a disclosure, please and thank you.
Okay, okay. So Mia, how do you know that you're in love?
You know, I'm gonna say for me, it's that feeling that you get in the middle of your stomach. It's like an internal feeling, like right underneath your breastbone, like right, like It's a zone. I forgot what it's called,
Mhm.
but it's
I
your
guess
nervous
I know.
here, right here. And when that thing jumps like a jack in the box, every time I think about you, and I get these butterflies in my stomach, that's how I know I'm in love with you.
Hmm.
Coupled with what my girl Aquarian said about that giddiness when you said something about masculinity. And I saw a video the other day from a gentleman, and he said that for women that are single mothers, it's not about masculinity, it's about responsibility. And I was like, wow, that's huge because we as women have to be the responsible caretaker for our children. And so it's not out of it's out of necessity, and it's what we have to do. And when a man is able to take that away from me, baby, I will hang from the ceiling fan. I will do
Every
parties. I will do whatever it takes because love is an action and it's reciprocal. Like you pour into me, I'm gonna pour into you. Like she said, if you spicy with me, I'm gonna be spicier. So if you pour a gallon into me, I'm gonna pour two into you. Like it's just, and that's how women are innately built by nature. Like that's just innately in us. And so yeah, I will hurt somebody behind you. I will push you to your
See, I'm
limit.
not by myself.
No, you're not by yourself. Even when I was married, I pushed my husband to file a complaint against his company. He didn't want to do it because he was in an environment where he was a minority. And he was like, no, baby, I'll do it. I said, no, that was racist.
Yeah.
Do it.
Look, real
No,
quick. Either you handle it or I handle it. I will come up there and act a plum D nutcase behind you. They gonna be like, your wife can't even come to the picnic. Baby, she's insane.
I don't give a damn. Don't nobody want
I
that
don't
goddamn
care.
racist
We'll,
ass
we'll
potato
pour this
salad
wine by
anyway.
myself.
It's so good to hear, and this is refreshing for me because um, um, I hear a lot of women, they will prefer that their man shows them first that he's in love with her, and it doesn't really work that way a lot of times. Don't get me wrong, I understand, that there's a certain order traditionally on how things should go, but I think that love is in action. It is something that's built inside of you that causes a reaction towards the person you're in love with. And when you're in love with the person, you step outside of yourself for just a moment because you're trying to enjoy this feeling that you haven't had maybe in a long time, or it's a new thing. It's precious, it's valuable, it needs to be protected at all costs. It's a brand new baby, and when you're in that place, you know because if I'm in love with you and I'm looking for your scent, and I can't smell your scent anymore, then that's gonna do something to me. So I need to try to find where you are. I need to I'm constantly looking for your presence. I'm constantly looking for anything that you have been giving me to get me to come to that emotion.
But
And so
females are the same way. You know how dudes always complain and talking about she keeps stealing my hoodies. Do you know I got 4 or 5 hoodies? Look, they all smell like him. I got 4 or 5 of them. Every time I'm missing, guess what?
well, you
I'm
you
It's
the
that it's that
opposite.
it's that
I got the
connection.
opposite. I got the opposite. I can't steal no hoodies from him, but
yeah.
you want to steal my shirts from me?
Okay,
But
so
see,
see, by you saying that, like I have a underwear fetish. So I'm always trying to keep a souvenir.
panty thief. Oh,
I
panty
can't
thief.
help it. I got
You know,
underwear.
and just a sweet story. So ladies, and I'm sorry, I slipped and called you girls, ladies, because y'all ain't no girls, ladies. Um, you talked about the scent. So I was married for 20 years, and my husband passed away in 2020, and that's why I thank Quincy for inviting me on because this whole uh, process of me being able to talk about this openly, like what my husband and I had. But that was one thing he would always tell me. He said my skin smelled like cream.
Mm.
Like he said, I had a scent. Like when you talked about scent, and so he used to always say, like when I got out of the shower, like with just no perfume or just my natural scent, it smelled creamy. And I
Yeah.
never understood that. But then when you say that men like a scent, like I was like, okay, that makes
I'm,
sense. That
I'm
makes
gonna add on
sense.
to what you said because I lost mine in 2011, so I know exactly where you came from because there's a lot of stuff that they say to you that your husband be saying to you, and you at the time,
You be like that
I
boy
put
crazy.
it, I got to put it back in my head. But when he's gone, you're gonna start realizing stuff, and it's good that you are talking about it.
You know what? And
Um,
just to piggyback, so you see this book right here. So I've been going to therapy, and we can talk about this. We can move this on. So I've been
yeah,
going to therapy. My husband's gone for 5 years, and during my one of my first sessions, well, my second session, she asked me. She said, "Why did you, when I asked you to give an introduction, why did you gloss over the death of your husband?" And I was like,
Mm.
"What do you mean?"
I dare you talk to me in that town, right?
I'm like, "Girl, you're supposed to be here to help me. You're not supposed to be here to be call me out. Like, God dog it."
Right,
And
right,
so
right.
I was like, well, I guess I thought I was over it. And so she was like, no ma'am. And we talked or whatever. And so I'm gonna tie this up to say where we are today is a part of my therapeutic journey because she told me I need you to write a love letter to your husband in a dollar store notebook with a pink pen.
Mm.
that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, and so she said red is normally tied, well, historically tied to love. She said, but it's actually pink. And so the anniversary of my husband's death was April 2nd.
Um,
Oh
Okay,
wow.
so I finally wrote the love letter to him.
oh,
Okay.
And if at some point at the end of the session, Quincy, if I could request that I'm able to read the letter.
Absolutely.
Okay, but we can do that
Sure.
at the end. We can do that at the end. Y'all, this is so healing for me. I promise y'all. This is just thank you for allowing me space to do that, Quincy. Like seriously, like this is tying up a part of my life that has held me back romantically.
Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
so that's why I said thank you for this space because these questions are just tying everything up for this chapter and for me to be able to move forward uh, in this thing we call life.
You know,
Oh
So
my
I'm
God, this made me happy.
I
and
know. Like I'm all over here, like yay.
I just want to say that this is the reason why I wanted to do the series is because not only to get the assistance of you beautiful women to help men understand, but I also wanted to get the seriousness because we can talk about what men don't do, what women don't do. He don't listen to me. He don't communicate. I mean, I can't communicate with her. I need an alpha male. I need a beta male. I need a masculine man. I need someone who's going to listen to me. We
Oh,
can do all of those things, but historically, our culture struggles in the area of relationship because we are still trying to identify who we are. And especially when you find that love
man.
that seeped inside of you, that you had the opportunity, you and Alicia both have had the opportunity to experience and to carry out your duty as a wife, because the vows are till death do you
That's
part.
beautiful.
When you carry out that vow, it does something to you. Yes, it does hurt, and yes, there are going to be times where maybe you won't even be able to make it through the day, but at the end of the day, the blessing of the fact that you were able to fulfill the duty that you
Yeah,
were
yeah.
entrusted with, and that's with a man's heart. And a lot of women are hateful and jealous because they can't even get past year one without saying I want a divorce. And
What
so
what see
that
when it comes to that, I feel like a lot of these women, and that's just generally speaking, and I'm not speaking of the good ones, because I hate when we generalize things and it include everybody. I'm not talking about the women who actually like their men. I'm
okay.
not talking about those. We talking about generalized. If you look at it as a whole, most of these women like the idea of being married. They don't like the job that comes with it. Because
Wow.
when you married to somebody, every morning you wake up, you say, yes, there are 50 million options out there, but this is the one that I choose every single solitary day. And I'm gonna be loyal and faithful to that one. I don't care if he look better than my man, because no, he don't, because I choose him.
Gotcha.
And a lot of times females, they say, oh, he acting like that, I got options, I can just leave. That's not what marriage is supposed to be. You supposed to love this man even when he get on your everlasting nerve, because for the umpteenth trillion time he forgot to close the dang on cabinet or whatever he did to irritate you. You supposed to still love him regardless and not get mad and leave.
Absolutely. So Angelica, since you're talking about this and talking about, the inner workings of relationships and how things, would go if we're in love with one another. Have you ever said "I love you" first to a man?
Absolutely.
You have.
I have.
Tell me about it. I'm interested. I,
Okay, so it was just a normal day. Like, we was just chilling. It wasn't nothing major. It When I say it was such an insignificant but very significant moment at the same time, it was very much a contradiction. It wasn't no grand gesture or nothing. It was literally, I was walking out the door and I was like, I love you, babe, and just walked out. Hadn't even realized I said it.
oh wow. Oh
I
wow.
literally hadn't even real. I like love you and walked out the door. Didn't even when I tell you, the man called me and was like, baby, you okay? You dying? And I was like, what? He was like, I was like, why would I be dying? He was like, you just told me you love me. And I was like, oh, I did? Oh shit. But I do. But oh shit, you ain't supposed to call me out on my shit. And
Wow.
I mean, and then he was like, I love you too, baby. And then that was like the end of it. I went to work. It was nothing.
Wow.
When I tell you, it was not a fancy dinner. It wasn't jewelry. It wasn't going shopping. It was literally just the normal. We was waking up doing our normal shit, and I just said, "Hey, I love you," and walked out the door.
Wow. Okay, so Mia, have you ever said "I love you" first? Tell me about it. I'm interested.
Yeah, so like with my husband, that dude just like swept me off my feet. Like I was just so enamored in the fact that this handsome man was all into me,
Mm,
and like I'll just be vulnerable enough and transparent enough to say like I was so into him, like I gave him a key to my apartment, like, but he rejected it.
okay. Wow.
I was like,
Nice.
no, he didn't. So but I actually told him first. Uh, but it was returned. He said, "I love you too." And that was like, "It's over, it's over, it's over. It's my man, my man, my man." And so yeah, and then even which is the second part of why I'm glad we're tying this whole relationship or romanticism and love thing into a bow for me is because shortly after my husband died, there was a person that I was in a situationship with, and now that I reflect back on it, I told him that I loved him. And you know what he told me?
Oh Lord, what did he say?
I
That's
know.
cute. Oh, that's rude and unusual. I mean, it's not unusual, but it's real rude.
He said, I
No,
know.
can I just from a man's perspective, that's very cocky. Number one, and then number two, what it shows, and fellas, y'all listen to me carefully. when we have a woman's heart in our hands, it the what is evident is how you handle the heart. And if you know that a woman, if a woman, a man knows when a woman's in love with him, whether she says it or not, he definitely knows. But it's a determining factor if you take her heart and you care for it or crush it. And there is a difference between the two because a lot of times when you said that meal, I'm gonna have to be transparent. I've said that before. No, 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 Angelica, we're Aquarius, right? Here it is, right here, baby. I love you. So, what we eating tonight? I mean, so, but yes, and we grown people. I've messed up before, and probably passed up, you know, great opportunities, to have love. But what happens is that when a man is not solid in himself, he has no clue how to love someone who can love him back. And when he's not solid in these emotions, when there's somebody possibly waiting on the side for him, or if there is something else going on in his life, if he has too much going on for you, then what happens is we'll gravitate to the easiest thing to get our hearts away from you. And so, not realizing that I have this person's heart in my hand and I'm supposed to be handling with care. And 9 times out of 10, she done said, listen, please don't hurt me. Please, I'm in this state. Please don't do this. Please don't do that. And we do this anyway because we are not secure in who we are, or we are too goddamn arrogant to see the damage that we do. And so,
I think
so
90% of the time it's that second one that just
Yeah,
arrogant. They get to the some men get to the point where they feel like, well, in my opinion, because I'm not a man, but in my opinion, I feel like they get to a point where they feel like since she love me, she ain't gonna go nowhere. Not realizing I'd rather be hurt, balled up in the corner by myself, coloring, with talking to a goldfish before I sit up here and let you continue to stomp on me like that.
agreed, agreed,
that
agreed.
part. But
I'm
I
talking
will
about
say,
coloring big time with the big
yeah,
coloring book.
for real, with the small color ones, not the jumbo ones.
That part. Big jumbo coloring book with the small colors.
Yes, because the big jumbo colors take up more space. No, no, I need time.
Look, I
But
need
what I will
outlines.
say, Christy, thank you for that. Because in my therapeutic journey, what I learned from that is that I was in love with the idea of love. I didn't love that man.
I hear
And
you.
You
it's
know what?
for that to
I I
happen.
loved everything around him and what he offered me to make me feel comfortable. If that
Yeah,
makes sense. You know what? There was a void. My husband gone. Okay, I was with this man for 20 something years. He's gone now. Now it's just me. So I really need something to fill this void. And he's doing everything right. He's taking me out to dinner. He's doing stuff for me. We like doing things together. It's great. It feels good.
But it's something missing.
And it just felt right. When I told him that, and I told him, I said, you know what? It's okay because this is about me. And I
yeah,
was secure enough at that point to know, okay, I'm letting you know how I feel. And if
yeah,
you're not there, that's on you. But then I chose to be a dummy and stay around. And that's where the hurt came in for me because I knew where he was and I knew where I was. I knew where he wasn't and I
yeah,
knew where I was. And so, yeah, we can go on. Oh, Alicia, you can go ahead. I don't want to
yeah.
dominate.
Go ahead, sis. Have you ever said "I love you" first?
I have,
Okay.
but being with an Aquarius,
Ma'am, the personal attack.
he said it to me. Um, I can remember the day we was just out. We didn't have to work that day, and actually we was at Bachman Lake, and we were just looking at the ducks, talking about the ducks, and he was like, I love you. I was like, me?
So you just You was at the
And
lake and it just came out.
it just came out. He said, I love you. And then he said, I love you. He said, he said, don't answer that. I love you anyway. You'll kind of understand it. And yeah, he right.
I'm gonna say, my ex fiance, um, told me she loved me first, right? And when she did that, can I just can I just be real for a second? I I am and I am and y'all all of y'all know me, and so I am very hard and tough on my feelings. I'm just not gonna let you get to me like that. You just cannot get to me. But that woman told me she loved me. I promise to God, if you could have bought me with a thing of butter, I would have melted all over the place. And so okay, so Kanisha, that is a long comment. So let's read it. Let's tackle it.
Look
What
at
we
it. Yeah, because that's why I leaned in like, wait a minute.
let's read some of the comments real quick and then we'll go back into it. Okay, so moderator, do me a favor, go back up one comment for me, moderator. Let's read what Kanisha said first, and then we'll take care of her comment, this comment here. Go up to the comment right before that for me. Dun, 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 dun,
I'm
dun,
sorry, I gotta turn the heat back on. Ooh.
dun, 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 dun. You got a moderator? Thank you, moderator. I appreciate it. Y'all give my moderator a hand. My moderator is doing good. I'm gonna give her a hand.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Kenny.
yeah. Thank you,
Well,
moderator. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. So she says, Kanisha says, being married is a second job, but fulfilling.
I can agree with that.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
I
I can
think
agree with
the
that.
marriage is a job period. Actually, that's the first to me, that's like the first and second and third and fifth because it takes
You don't get no vacation from marriage.
no, it's no vacation. Once you marry, once you lock
That's
in,
what it is.
that's a job every day you have to do because you got to work on it all the time. It is not like a 9 to 5. It
Everything.
ain't like, okay, I'm gonna
Look,
clock out at
look,
5 and that's it. No, you are
the
still a
job
wife.
description changes daily when you marry. It is never the same. And
Mm,
I say that to say like today you this is just an example. Today this man may love chocolate milk and he drink chocolate milk nonstop. And then on a Tuesday this man decide he don't like chocolate milk to get out and he want to drink Pepsi every darn day. That being married is being able to actually flow and adjust on a regular basis because just like us women, we change and change and change. The difference is we show that we're changing. Most men, they just don't show it because they don't want to rock the boat, or like it takes too much to try to say I like this new thing instead of being able to have a conversation and say, I want to try this, I want to try that. And you have to be able to do it without judgment and be willing to either, go through that journey. That's
mm, mm.
it's an ever changing job. It's not one of them ones where they can give you a job description in a handbook. There's no such thing as a handbook to now man. There's not a handbook to now woman because ain't none of us alike. I
That's
like to
true.
play, I like to play video games and play Nerf guns inside the house
That's good. That's good.
on a
Man,
regular
I'm coming to
basis.
Oklahoma then, 'cause I want to play now.
I know.
Yeah, that was a very pat comment because
Yeah.
the person is right. It's a job. But what I will say in being married for 20 years, uh, the experience when it comes to like, yeah, it's a give and take relationship. But what I have found is that I gave up a lot of myself in my marriage. Um, and when I say that, I can say that I lost my individuality, and I think something that a lot of women don't talk about openly. I was
mm,
doing everything I could that I thought to be in his space. And when I say be in his space, prime example, something very, very simple. I didn't know a damn thing about boxing
Okay.
when we met. Hadn't seen a boxing match or nothing. But because he liked boxing, guess how I figured out a way to be around him? I was watching the boxing matches too. I was asking questions. So then that became something that we enjoyed together. Same thing with college football and the way that we watch the basketball finals. Like to this day, I still it's still a habit. But what I'm saying is that I my life so much revolved around him
Mm.
that when he and I separated a couple of times and I was trying to figure myself out, people were like, "What do you like to do?" I was like, "Fuck, I don't know."
You know
Because
what?
everything that I
That's a
did
very valid
revolved
point.
around my husband. And so, like, moving forward, like, it's nothing wrong with prioritizing yourself,
Yeah,
that to always remain an individual. And that's something that I share with my daughters is that, yes, love your spouse, love your partner, make sure that they're comfortable, but at the same time, have that love and space and honor for yourself.
agreed.
And
Agreed.
I just wanted to piggyback off of what she said.
Oh,
And
but let me cut you off. Well, I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm going off camera because I'm hungry, y'all, and I like to snack. So I'm over here fixing me some avocado and some tomatoes. So I'll be right back. Keep going.
And sis, do you can definitely chomp on camera. It's all right. Enjoy yourself. You do your thing.
Okay,
um
I'm about to go through the drive-through now while y'all talking. Shoot.
but what I was gonna say is, as a mother and as a wife, we tend to dedicate so much to ourselves that, like, I know specifically when my kids got grown, to this day, I'm still trying to figure out who the hell I am without being a parent. And
Oh,
all three of my kids are grown because I dedicated so much of my personality and everything into being a mother. When you're
yeah.
with a man, you tend that's my man, my man, my man. Oh, me and my boyfriend, me and my man, me and my man. You forget. And one of the things that I have learned, that if he's not willing to invest at the exact same time, like, I don't look, let me be honest. Look, we was in band and I still can't tell you shit about football other than when they go in that color field, you stand up and you play. That is the only shit I know about football. I'm gonna be real honest about that. I'm saying that to say, but if I'm willing to invest time in learning something like that, you better be willing to go to Simp and Paint with me.
All right. So let me read what Kanisha said real quick, and then we're gonna move on to the
Okay.
next question. I just want to go ahead and see if we can grab these comments. What's up? What's up, Julius? How you doing, man? Thank you so much. Julius said, I say I love you first. Okay, Julius, that'll work, man. Real quick. Kanisha says, I'm I'm not taking Quincy Stevens' side. Well, you have to put my whole name up there. Sis.
I
God.
I
know. So
know.
whole government up there.
But some men have a lot on them. They have to provide and be a protector, the head of his family, and women have to become independent and not dependent on men simply because we think that we have it all. But if we go into a relationship seeing both sides of the field, then we can take the time to appreciate that man. I love black women I would like, I guess that's what you mean. You would love black women to know what we want in a man is because that man can be a reflection of us.
That's very true.
Okay. 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 I like that. Tanisha, you also said, but as black people, men, oh, black men, I'm assuming. And when we do actually know what love stands for, I tell my husband I love him all the time. I love him, and I also ask him why because of my heart. Okay, okay, that'll work.
Go
That'll
ahead
work.
then, Miss Girlfriend. Hey, yes,
I
ma'am.
know. I mean, come on, you get the poetry fingers. You get the
Mm,
poetry fingers
yes,
on that
ma'am.
one. Get the poetry fingers. Get the poetry fingers. All right. So while Mia is making her avocado realness over there,
And that
what
avocado toast with tomato is so good. It
that
really is.
dude.
Look at look, she popped back just in time.
So real quick,
I was listening to y'all there, but I was like, I gotta get something in my belly.
okay, so real quick, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a. I'm gonna call it a 80-second break. Yeah, we'll do 80 seconds. That's a minute and 60 seconds. We're gonna take this break, and what we're gonna do when we come back, I want to talk about romantic moments. I
Okay.
want to I want to talk about some romantic moments and things of that nature, and and let's let's give the people some encouragement and some romance, because I think that romance is lacking in a lot of different situations. Some people don't even know how to be romantic.
I
There,
was
there.
gonna say it depends on what one person considers as romantic to begin with.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it. So we're gonna take this quick break. I'm gonna play the devil and his advocate video, and then I'm gonna play our video again. No, I'll play after dark video, and then we'll come back. So we'll sit back, hold on to your horses. Don't y'all take y'all asses nowhere, and we'll be right back. Here we go.
Truth is, I'm scared cause when I see you coming, all I wanna do is tell you that I love you. I know you're better off without me cause your tears stain eyes make it dark out when you're around me. Like a needle lost in the sand, the ink dried in my hand. It's unthinkable. Like a bird that never learned to fly, I shouldn't ask you to try. It's unthinkable, but
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for for sticking in there with us. Thank you so much. Uh, um, I am again wanting to say thank everybody for watching Devil and His Advocate last night. My boy Ernie or Seek the Poet and myself, we were on last night and we were talking about some great things. Make sure that you go and check out the show from last night. And we're definitely going to make sure that we have every episode available for you. So please follow us on all social media platforms. I'm going to have the ladies drop their social media platforms in just a little bit so we can go ahead and make sure that we keep in contact with one another and make sure that you're actually following them as well. All right, so real quick, I'm gonna throw Julius's comment. He says, "Love is all sacrifice." Okay, and he says, "So self is just a routine, and the rest of you is for family. You are in service to them for life. But most of us rather have the world and be seen by the world and acknowledged for being a good spouse or partner. Nope, it's my responsibility to be. I'm sorry, to my family." And I'm sorry, not the world. And my reward is their smiles and their happiness. You know what, Julius? I'm gonna say this, brother. Uh, I'm with you on that 200%. But I think what it is, Mia said it earlier, and and now listen, everybody. Now y'all know I'm used to catching flack, so I don't care. But Mia said it earlier. She said it best for today. She says that a lot of people are in love with the idea of being in love, and sometimes when we take on these different responsibilities of love, because love is a responsibility, because it's an action, and we are responsible for what our actions and how we behave. And when I look at your comment, I see that the dedication that as men that we should think about first. But a lot of times what as men, I'm gonna do it this way. What we are thinking about is how can I get her to leave me alone about this situation, about this subject. I've often said many times that marriage is for the ladies, it's not for the guys. And I say that because women tend to always want to take it a step further, men will settle where we are. And if we don't get to a place where there's a woman in our life to push us in a certain way or to guide us in a certain way, we'll sit there and be with you 15, 20 years and we won't say, hey, baby, will you marry me? Or can we take this to the next step or whatever it is. And so man, that's great, man. Love is a sacrifice, and definitely it should be a place where we're able to enjoy love. And a lot of us are not enjoying love. Love is supposed to be something cherished. It's supposed to be something that's sacred. And when we get in certain situationships, relationships, and things of that nature, we are not looking at the sacred parts of love, which is the protected parts of one another. Because if we are in love with one another, if we are in a place where we are accepting one another for whatever it is, then you can't build anything off of dishonesty. And a lot of times people think being dishonest is what you said that wasn't true. But in my opinion, being a person that's not transparent, it is, I mean, sorry, when you are a person that's not transparent, it ends up being what you don't say that be the issue. And so I appreciate your comment, man, because definitely it's a responsibility of love that a lot of us are starting to miss. So we're gonna move on real quick. I want to talk about romantic moments real quick. And I just want you ladies to do me a favor and just think in your brains real quick. Go ahead and close your eyes and meditate for a second. And we can do the Jeopardy thing. I mean, sorry, Jeopardy parody. Dun, 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 dun.
Alicia.
Yeah, we can do that. And I want one of you ladies, I want all of y'all to share. What is one of your most romantic memories? Romantic memories. Now I have a habit of starting off first because that's just what I do. And but I want to hear from y'all. So Mia is over there eating avocados from Mexico. That's what Mia is over there doing her thing. And
No, you know what? Shameless plug, boy. I'm taking my blood pressure medicine. Okay, black people die at a higher rate for that silent disease of high blood pressure. I am 53 years old, so boy, I was taking my medicine. Don't play with me. But I was cutting up some more tomatoes though.
now, you listen. I like now. My granny used to eat tomatoes and salt, and
Salt and
South
pepper.
as
Lord.
as disgusting as I used to think that was, and I thought it was so disgusting until I did it. And then let me tell you what else. Now, Granny did this, and I don't know where I got it. I mean, yeah, I know where I got it from. She used to slice up oranges and put salt on it. That is
Oh,
so good. It is.
is it
Yes,
oranges with salt?
It's the
yes.
sweet and savory point, and then it's slightly
It's a sweet
tangy.
savory thing going on, and it is to
I'll
die
try
for.
that.
You, Neil, let me know how you like it. Let me know how you like it. So I want to hear from you, ladies. What's one of your most romantic moments? We don't have to go too far into it, but if you can think like for a second or six, what was a romantic moment? Alicia, I'm gonna start with you. What was what's one of your most memorable romantic moments?
Actually, we went to dinner and we was celebrating his 34th birthday.
Okay.
And I mean, it was a nice little outing setting. We had talked, we had laughed. We almost got put out the restaurant as usual.
Mm.
Yeah, I
But
got put out first. You sure did.
yeah, you already know who I was married to. We almost got put out so many times. That boy. But it was very nice. It was very, romantic. Got dressed up, and he was like, "Go get your hair done. Go do this," and that. But I take that memory right there because that was the last birthday right there. Um,
Oh, I see. I see. I see.
went to dinner. Then we went to White Rock Lake, and we just sat and talked about life. That's what we did. I think
What's
that's
going on
very,
with
very romantic to me. It doesn't take money. It doesn't take so much money to spend. And I
what's
see
go-
that's what most of these females like. You got to spend this on me. No.
what's going on with you in these lakes? You and these
Lakes are
lakes,
wonderful.
you, you and
Actually,
Mountain Lake, and you,
I wasn't a lake type. I wasn't a lake type. You forgot who I was married to.
oh my God, I hear you, I hear you.
See, but the thing with Quinn with that was like his meditation. That was like his peace. That was like everything. And I understood that then.
Okay, okay, that'll work. Okay, so now, sis, now you below me, yes, you. Um, what was one of your most romantic moments?
Oh, oh, that's simple. We was at Walmart. Me being who I am, we were down the toy aisle and we picked up some Nerf guns and we ended up fighting each other with Nerf guns at the park and then had a picnic.
That is so cool. That's
Like,
cool
When
when
I
you got
tell
like
you what
real.
one thing about romance with me, you got to be willing to be childish because an impromptu water balloon fight is on the horizon with glitter inside of it. Like I am so childish.
I
And when
like.
it and like I play video games, I play video games too. Like I love playing Call of Duty. So like those are the moments that matter to me. We was in one time we was in matching onesies and was playing video games.
Matching onesies, huh?
You know, like them the animal onesies that the girls be wearing, like the giraffe. Look, he didn't want to do it, but I was like, we doing this. And he was like, you know what? You better not tell nobody. I'm glad we not together no more. So it's fine. I can tell it. I just won't say his name out loud.
Well, thank you. We don't want any no issues. We don't need nobody coming after you.
He said, I better not tell nobody but God.
It'll kill your mama. That's what that's what they said on the color purple. Me, yeah. What's one of your most romantic?
So, um, I'll give you the one that really just popped up. It was with me and my husband, and when he and it was after he had proposed to me, and I was working at CPS at the time, and he said, "Hey, come over to the apartment," and I said, "Okay," and I came over, and he was like, "Get comfortable," and I was like, "Get comfortable." I was like, "I ain't got nothing to put on." He said, "Put this on," and it was a jersey. And so I just put the jersey on or whatever. And so we were sitting there just talking. And so we sat in front. I remember this so vividly, and that's one thing my husband always said was about experiences. We were in the room, and he had this little CD player thing or whatever, and we were sitting on the floor, Indian style, and he played the song by Eric Benet. I want to spend my life with you,
Um,
and so that is the reason it was so romantic is because like he pulled me into a very vulnerable space for him. Like I had never seen. This is a very very soft side of
Yeah.
a man. You know what I'm saying? Buying the flowers. That don't take that. That takes time and thought, but something that was so genuine and pure that me putting on his shirt and we sat on the floor and this song meant enough. And that was another thing that kept us together is music. Like, if he got pissed off or whatever, maybe he'll send me a song, I would know exactly what he was talking about. Or if he was feeling really soft and wanting to share how much he cared and loved me, it was a song. So that moment, sitting Indian style on the floor, listening to that song, and he's holding my hand, that was probably that. It was priceless. It was
Wow.
priceless.
Well, it's amazing how I have you ladies on. All of you are different in your own right. You all are unique and expressive and beautiful, and it's amazing how powerful Black love is when it comes to the simplicity of love. My, for me, just I ain't gonna go through the whole shebang because I ain't giving none of y'all fellas my secrets. Y'all need to start looking up some stuff because I am a romantic man and I do things on a simple scale all the way to grandioso. So you just get yourself somewhere and read a book or something. But for me,
Yeah.
I think one of the most romantic moments is that I was playing basketball with my ex because she played basketball, and the music was playing, and my favorite song on the radio that we had out there, we had like a little boom box. So this was back in the gap. So they had like a little boom box, and my favorite Anita Baker song came on, and it is Whatever It Takes. And we were playing basketball, and I just looked at her and grabbed her, and we just started slow dancing on the court.
Oh,
Like stuff like that, because you would never think about, because I don't care who is around me. You know what I'm saying? When you are in a romantic moment, it's just you two. The world ceases to exist for those moments. And so being romantic is very important, especially in relationships, that you want to cultivate to go long term. Because we could do the flowers, and the candy and the limousines and the hotel rooms and the champagne glasses and all of that stuff is great. But I always tend to think that romantic moments are those moments that are spontaneous, and that they're spur of the moment, and that you are able to catch a person off guard and really see how they feel about you. Though, so I love that question. But I got another question for y'all, ladies. I got another question. So, who's more romantic, men or women? Oh,
in
yeah.
my opinion, when it comes to me personally,
Okay.
I would say most of the men that I date, they have to kind of bring the romance because, as you see, my grand gestures is Nerf guns and taking pictures at the lake and reading books and stuff. Like I'm kind of childish and nerdy, so I'm not great in the romance department. Like if I bust you in the face with a water balloon, I mean I really love you, but so they would have to bring like the grand gestures because I'm not good at that part.
Okay. Okay. Mia, what you got?
I know.
I'm gonna say I think it's I think women have the idea of romance down to a science on how we would like to have it executed, if that makes sense. So I would say women probably are the most romantic
Okay.
because like we know how we want to receive romance. However, because we are quote unquote the experts at romance, we also know how to give it. Okay. Meaning that like so I do know how I know how to romance my man. And it
Okay.
ain't cooking no motherfucking meal either. I'm sorry. Like I get so tired of that. It's not about cooking.
First of all, if you get me to bake you a cake from scratch, you best believe that that is love. Because who don't like to cook nor bake is me, but I will do it if I love you.
Baby, let me tell you something. When my husband met me, I thought I could cook. I did a video where I talked about when I thought I was busting it down in the kitchen, and the man that I was about to marry was a whole damn chef. I mean, not a trained chef, but he could cook his ass off. And so, girl, anyway, it's not about cooking. So there are other things that can stimulate a man's heart, or make him feel woo woo woo. You know what I mean? The person that I was in the situationship with, I be doing off the cuff stuff. So one day he was like, "Hey, come over for dinner. I'm gonna cook for you." I said, "Okay, cool." And so I bought him flowers,
Okay. Okay.
and I'm gonna tell you why. It caught him way off guard. He was like, "I've never had a woman to bring me
I be
flowers." I
flowers.
said, "Well,
Yeah.
I've never bought a man flowers."
Wow.
But
Wow.
it was just something in my heart. I was like, you know what? I just want to. Yeah, I brought the wine, but I brought the flowers, or like just little things like the scent.
Okay.
So I'm a coupon girl. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all my secret. So CVS has brand name colognes, like big time brand name colognes. And if you are CVS, if you're on their app, you'll get like a 35 or 40% off coupon like once a month. So
Oh,
if you take that 40% off coupon for a $99 bottle of cologne, that's a
okay.
steal, right? So one day I was just in CVS and I was like, I like the way that smell. I'm gonna get it.
Okay. Okay.
And I
Alicia.
did, but you know what? Little things like that, even though it didn't really go anywhere with he and I, it was reciprocal because he, after I did that, like it was almost like he wanted to one up. Let me see. Men are cerebral in romance, and women are more heart led in romance.
That's true.
Mm.
That's true. That is definitely true. Alicia, what you got? Because I'm gonna also tell y'all what I think for a second, and then we're gonna move on. Alicia, what you got? Because I want to get Julius's comments in a second.
Um, I think us as women, we are more romantic because we know how to execute it. But some men do surprise us now. Some of them they'll surprise us to where they will be stuck in a trance. Like, okay, what just happened?
He said, "I never ever want a woman to bring me."
I mean, you might like a tulip so you can get tulips. I mean,
I mean,
You know,
yeah, put it
Julius.
right in the your table. Let it fry it up a little bit.
Okay,
But
so
yeah, I had somebody. He stunned me. He very romantic. I didn't. It's like everything came out of left field. I was like, and she was stunned. That's all I said.
wow.
But I think women are more romantic because we can execute it. But some men, oh, they can execute it better than us sometimes. And I'm really like, okay,
I think
let
I've
me go
just been kind
on.
of
Yeah,
lucky in that
yeah.
department because I've never had to just be romantic at all. Cause I just date dudes that they love romance, and I'm kind of laid back. I'm kind of like, you really ain't got to be all grand like that. And they be like, yes, I do, and I be like, okay, you can. Like,
You
You
know,
know, my love language is giving like acts of service.
okay.
Like so for me, it just comes as a second nature. I'm a nurturing person. And so if I'm involved with someone, I want them to feel that because then that puts a smile on my face. Like when I see
Right.
you smile, it puts a smile on my face. Like, yeah, I did that. I did. I
You know,
I
did.
it's
is
it's
there a such thing as being too romantic? I don't think so.
No.
really
I've never dated a guy and I was like, you too romantic for me. That has never been my thing. But once again, I have stated this and I'll state it to the end of time. Every woman is different because whereas I do like flowers, if you take me to the shooting range and we shoot guns, I promise you that's way more romantic to me.
mm, can I
So you
can I
just
See,
gotta
now,
really know the woman as a person.
now
now I'm with you on that now as being grown. Take me to the shooting range. And
Go
thank you.
four wheeling in the mud. Yes, that is so romantic to me. It ain't nothing more fun than riding on them four wheelers in the mud at sunset, watching the sun go down. That is romance top level to me.
you
Okay, so you girls are some outdoor girlies. So I need some inside activities. So I'm very adventurous with my palate. So I like trying new foods. You know what? Let's try different restaurants. I like stuff like that. I love music. Like we can go to the opera. Like for real, like
Yeah,
all
I do
things
opera and ballet
that
and
that
stuff.
I like. I just like doing. I like experiences.
yeah.
Experiences. So, you know, yeah, romance is what you make it.
It
You
Mhm.
is.
put your heart in any activity that you will. You can always put your
Absolutely.
heart into it, like putting a little bow on anything. You can make a damn date to damn Hobby Lobby romantic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Look,
You
Oh
can
I'm
go
yeah,
gonna
I
get
be
some
a
did.
Hobby Lobby
flowers.
Yeah, I did
for the
that
You know
too.
what?
kid.
Go get
So
the
yeah.
flower art. Get some crafts together, and y'all. You can put your heart in anything. It doesn't. It's not hard. Because at the end of the day,
She not lying.
the overarching goal is for that person to have a smile on their face. And
Absolutely.
so it just takes a little bit of heart.
And
That's it, just a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this, and I know that y'all said women are a little more romantic, but I think Willie's comment hit the head. I mean, hit the nail on the head when he said men are cerebral in romance and women are more heart led. Like for me, I'm always gonna say men are more romantic because I think that we set the tone. And then let me do it like this. In some relationships, we set the tone. It's not for every person. And for me, when it comes to romance, I always have to do something that you least expect. And for me, a romantic gesture is how I start. You know, like for example, I brought up the park the other day. And I like going to the park. The park is relaxing for me when I could go and I can kind of bond with nature a little bit, and I can allow myself to be myself. And I create, a real cool little picnic for us. We don't have to have candles or nothing like that. But how about what? One of my favorite things that I used to do with my ex is that we used to go to the park, and the park has a hill on it, and we would spread the blanket out and lay on the hill as it goes down, trying our best not to roll. Do you know that you have it seemed asinine to some people, like, dude, you gonna roll down the damn hill. You know what I'm saying? But what happens is when you start rolling down a hill, it turns into an activity that you never forget. Now, Mia, I'm gonna give a name to what you just said. I call it creating memories, because the
that part.
memory is what's going to keep us in love and reminds us of the things that we cherished and shared for those moments when times get hard, when times get bad, when death occurs, somebody loses a family member, when somebody gets sick, things like that. You have to have the memory so you're able to stay and keep that love on the inside of you. And so I'm always say that fellas is more romantic because I was raised by romantic men. My uncles were very romantic, and they taught me a lot about romancing, a woman. And when you are romancing a woman, you have to go into it with your best intentions of not trying to get the draws, but you trying to go into the best intentions and understanding that she gets to know who you are in a vulnerable space. And a lot of fellas, we don't like vulnerability because we have been hurt by people who were not vulnerable enough to accept our vulnerability. And vulnerability works two ways. I can't give you me if you don't give me you, and that's moderator. I'm gonna go up real quick to Jules's comment. Real quick. He said, I met my ex-wife when she was at a phone booth, and her fiance at the time, Julius. Her fiance at the time
Damn Kimball folks.
had her crying and begging for her clothes. Okay, he said we were in the army. So I stood by waiting for her call to end. So I offered her drinks and food and a shopping spree. Didn't ask for sex, just left her with flowers. 2 months after I made her my fiance, we were married 22 years, now divorced for 4 years. Okay, so again, it could be those nuances, the small nuances that actually can capture someone's attention. My grandmama told me something years ago after she met my high school ex-girlfriend, which she told me that she didn't like because she had bangs. And Granny say, Mia, now check this out. Granny say that a woman who don't need bangs, that wears bangs, have something to hide. Never understood that. I promise you, I never. And I said, Granny, what the hell? But and I'm not saying that that's true for every woman, but what she was saying to me is that anytime that a woman overcompensates for something that she doesn't need, has something to hide. And I was like, huh, okay.
Yes.
And so I miss grandmama's wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Granny
Man,
and,
say,
and your granny would tell you straight up, nope, 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 nope.
don't you bring
You
that
know,
hot tail girl back around here.
nuh-uh. You better
Heavy.
make sure. You better make sure that the little girl and you is using condoms because we don't need you mixing that in our family. I mean, it be raw like that. And I'm like, God damn, grandma, what is going on? And so yeah. So real quick, because Willie actually asked one of the questions that was on here. Thank you, Willie. I appreciate that. And that was can a man be too romantic? But can a woman control who she falls in love with?
Yes.
She can't. I say that too. Why do you say yes?
The reason being is because when you're falling in love with somebody, that means you're giving yourself and being vulnerable enough to allow that person in your space. If you
Mm,
don't give yourself like that, then you can control who you fall in love with. You're choosing when you decide who you're gonna be vulnerable with and who you're not. So
mm,
it's always a choice. It's not to me. And I don't know, maybe it's just an Aquarius thing, but every person that I fell in love with, I promise you, I chose it. Whether it was good or bad, it was a choice. It was never I woke up and I was just in love. It was never that. It was always every step of the way, even when I felt like something was off, someone right. I still made the choice to continue to be vulnerable enough until I fell in love with that person.
mm.
It is very much a choice. You just have to be able to look at it and say, okay, do I want to continue this or do I want to stop? When you fall, that's because you continued every step of the way, knowing what the end result is. It's kind of like, when the old folks say, if you have sex, you must be intending on babies because sex leads to babies. No matter how much protection you use, it
Yeah.
can still end up in a baby. If you be vulnerable with a person and they throwing up red flags and you're like, I don't know how I got here. Now you know, because you made that choice every step of the way.
Okay, Mia, I see you in agreement. What you have about that?
I concur with everything my sister just said. Yes, you know. And it's up to you to make that choice. That's a personal decision. When
Yeah.
those red flags are waving like the United States flag, oh say can you see? And you over here ducking the dodge like no, 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 that
No,
ain't
not
no
my
no,
man, not my
no,
man.
no, no,
No,
no, no, no, no, no,
making
because I
excuses
want
for
him.
it.
Forget that he's over here pollinating all the flowers and producing, but it's okay because I'm gonna change him. Girl, no, you not.
I love
And
him.
you
Mama,
fall
I
in
love
love.
him.
You fall in love
Okay.
like with a lot of times again, like I said before, you're falling in love with the idea of love.
Hmm.
But again, what the heck? What is why is it doing that? Okay. Yeah, but yes, you control it. Because you know.
Okay, so
But sometimes, I mean, no, shit.
yeah.
No.
No,
No.
I see what Julius is saying. The act of falling in love is a blind act and a leap of faith, but yet you still choose to be blind and take that leap of faith. It is still a choice every way you look at it. I no longer even say I fall in love. I openly walk into love because now I understand that even when I think I fell in love, when I look back on them failed relationships, I see every chance I had to back up and say, nope,
Mm.
nope, nope. At that moment, you may feel like you falling in love, but if you go back and you look hindsight 2020 vision type like thing, you be like, oh, at that moment right there, I should have stopped. But my
Mm.
my God said, now let's be vulnerable with the psychopath. Let's do that one and see how that work out.
I heard Erica Badu say this, and I am going to adopt, and I have adopted this because she helped me grow. It just by
Man, Erica so deep.
this one particular podcast. She said people shouldn't fall in love because love is nothing to fall into. But
That
she
part.
said that we as humans we should evolve in love.
I love that.
And see, love has always been something that we always look at, that we start from the bottom and then rise into it. When love is something we're just simply supposed to walk into. It's supposed to be a natural bond of people. whether if you are lovers or you are friends or whatever it is, it's supposed to be a natural bond that you walk into. And so when Julius say, the act of falling in love is a blind act and a leap of faith. Now, Julius, I ain't gonna say love is blind. I'm not gonna say that. And the reason why I say that is just like what Sis said, Angelica said, in regards to knowing our responsibilities and who we connect with. We know who we are connecting with, and we also know who, while we're connecting with those particular peoples, are really quite okay. Mia, thank you. When we are falling, I'm sorry, when we are in a place where we are being open with a person and being open to falling in or evolving in love with a person. What happens is that we are responsible for the connections that we make. That's not a blind act. That's a willing thing. And so when you look into being in love, you probably can't help your feelings after a certain point, because after a certain point it's too late, you know. But I want to hear from Alicia, as it relates to our question, so sis, real quick, because I didn't get your opinion, or whatever. Can you control who you fall in love with?
Yeah, you can. That's funny how this question came up. And last night at work, um, is a couple that I saw, and they live there, and you can tell they in love, but you can tell they ain't in love. If you really
Mm.
understand what I'm saying.
Hmm.
I mean, the girl's
And
all
it's
in
the
love,
idea, but they not in love with each other.
but
Got
he's not in love with her.
ooh, nasty
And
word.
it's so many red flags that I saw, and that's something that if I saw the red flag, with like just like we said, what everybody said, like, no, no, that's my main anyway. I'm gonna ignore the flags. Do not ignore the flags. That's how you really hurt yourself. You can't blame him. No, you got to blame yourself because them red
Very much
flags right
so.
there waving. I'm talking about right here.
Hmm.
It's I always say falling in love with the wrong person is the equivalent of a crackhead in your house. You know they gonna steal your shit. You know they gonna steal your shit. And yet you still let that fool in there because that's family. You fell in love with that fool and he did something that scared you and reminded you of your ex, but you was like, it's different. Pepto Bismol still fix your stomach
That's
no matter what it
exactly
is.
what she said last night. He different. He different. He looked at me. He knew that I knew you wasn't in love with that dude, with that girl.
Absolutely.
You know.
Julie said you don't know who you got until it actually shows up in them. You won't know
I
they
mean,
are crazy until crazy come out. Might be an ex-murderer, but I hear y'all though. You know what? Okay, so Julius. Okay, so bro, listen. Your comment is 100% correct, because there are a lot of people now. Y'all now listen. Now I told y'all don't come at me crazy today, but sometimes, and unfortunately, this is the case. We mistake love for, how can I do it? We a lot of times we mistake uh being in love with the actual function of love, because being, like Angelica said earlier, Mia said earlier as well, that sometimes the certain things could allow, certain things could turn into a toxic situation when you love a person. But what happens is that when toxicity starts to show up in your relationship, because let's be frank and be honest, all of us have been in relationships before, and there has been a little bit of toxicity that kind of crept up in there. Not that you are toxic people, and so what happens is that sometimes when a person doesn't grow in their individuality as a couple, because couples are one, right? You grow together and also you evolve separately. If your path is not on the same path as your partner, then what happens is that that will create a situation of that you're not trusting the other person, which would make somebody go crazy on you. Because if I'm giving everything to you and I don't feel the same need, I'm fist to lose it on you, because I'm
But
thinking that
see,
you're playing with me. And I think that you are not in a place of loving me like you said you did.
But see, that's where I feel people forget that why people say communication is key. You need to check in and be like, hey, this is, you might be like, hey, I know we was originally going here, but I'm starting to feel my path veer this way. Are you willing to go? Because if not, we need to stop this right here. I think the issue happens that once we get so far into a relationship, like we done been together for 2 years, man. That's a waste of 2 years. No, it wasn't. You learn something, you'll be fine. Get over it. But
Mhm.
you people stay and you see this happening and you getting mad because you're seeing this. But when we started doing this right here, conversation should have happened before it even got to her. The conversation should have started right here. That little bitty crack. It should have started right then. That's
Mhm.
why communication is so important. It is so, even if you're not used to doing it, do it every 6 months. Hey baby, we started here. This is the path I'm still on. Are you still with me? Let's be honest. Let's have for real conversations. Not Don't tell me what you want me to hear, what you think I want to hear. Tell me what you think. Because if not, and you have a better idea or something, let me hear that. And maybe we can still keep on doing this instead of doing this eventually.
Agreed, agreed. So
I,
Mia,
I
real quick.
always say that you say you in love. Is it love or is it love?
I mean, because some good. I had you thinking you in love and you just what's the word? Digmatized?
Digmatized.
Digmatized? Walking around here like a chicken with his head cut off, like a crackhead trying to steal it.
You
And
know,
there's plenty of that where I'm working at. Plenty of that.
Mm,
so
mm.
Miss Montgomery, you said I need you to explain this comment, please. I wasn't looking for love; it just happened. Okay, okay. Mia, why is you looking like that?
Who
Excuse me.
said
I
that?
don't know
Wait a
why.
minute. Who said I wasn't looking for love? It just happened.
No,
So,
she was saying explain that because she heard men say that. I wasn't looking for love, but it just happened.
well, I
Nah, that
mean,
shit didn't just happen. He just didn't want to admit it.
see, that's the thing. I was going to say something. What Angelica, what you just said. Now, Mia, you tell me if I'm wrong or not. You tell me if I'm wrong or not. Now, you help me with this, Mia. I say you, Mia. I'm calling your name. When
Right
a
there.
man falls in love with someone, and here's a cool little scenario. Like for me, like a few of my closest friends are women. Okay, I tend to jive with the ladies more so a lot of times with my fellas, and then I realize, of course, getting older that, you can have those relationships and they can still be different and cultivated. But when a dude say I wasn't looking for love, it just happened, or I'm gonna skip down to Miss Montgomery's next comment. I've heard men say that many times that they insist that they wasn't trying to fall in love.
Yes, I
That
was.
is a real situation with men. When I say that is this, I'm gonna tell you, since I know I sound contradictory, but I'm on my way somewhere, I promise.
Okay, I'm around the
Even
train.
though we can control the connections that we have with people, I believe wholeheartedly that we can control those connections. What happens is that sometimes people want to, well, let me do like this. Fellas, we want to experience love in a different way from someone that knows that we know that loves us. So if I'm in a situation and I have my homegirl with me, and my homegirl is a person that I know I trust and I love her because she's my friend. And I know that she's my friend. Sometimes what starts to happen is that in his life, he may not be receiving the love that he's receiving from his friend. And all of a sudden, what starts to happen is that he's tugged in a manner that he wasn't expecting. I can understand that. I can see that, and even a lot of times, like, and I'll take another scenario. Y'all come on, don't y'all judge me, but let's do it like this. A lot of people they have what I like to call, cruise line babies, cruise line babes, cruise line, loves. You can go on a cruise or you go somewhere on a trip, go to Jamaica to a resort, you meet a boo out there that you had never met before, but y'all connect like this and you don't know who that person is. You've never even met that person, and all of a sudden you got Google eyes and you got la in the brain for the whole weekend. And you connect with this person on a level that you wouldn't have never thought. That's unexpected. Now, to say if it's going to go anywhere else, we don't know. But I can understand how a guy could feel, well, I mean, I wasn't even trying to fall in love with you, no way. But in actuality, you may not have been trying to fall in love with that person, but what you did was you fell in love with love of the person. Yeah, that makes sense. And what happens is when you have that kind of thing going on, you have no choice but like, oh my God, man, I done found myself, I done fucked around and fell in love before
But
you even knew it.
okay,
And
so, but here's my question about that. Okay, let's stick to your scenario. You got the home girl, and you getting this particular sort of love from this woman that you're not getting anywhere else. In my humble opinion, because I'm not a man and I don't know, it's still a choice because you're still choosing to do that.
that's
Whether
true.
you no matter how you look at it, you still choosing to pull from that, even though you know that's not really what that was supposed to be. You're still choosing it. So you're choosing a hell of your own making. Sometimes it come out great and everything work out fine, but then other times you end up losing the whole friendship behind silliness.
That's
So
true.
when I say it's a choice, it is a choice because there are many times that I had the choice of dating a friend and chose to keep the friendship over trying to pursue a relationship. And even though this man may have been giving me those feelings, I said, I knew what it was and I knew what I was doing and I stopped it before it went too far. It is still a choice. You're choosing that. Either way it go, it's still a choice. Now you may be blindly okay. You may not blindly, but you may be, like unwittingly doing it because subconsciously pulling from that, but you still know. You
Mm,
still know you putting feelings, you putting something in that pot that you shouldn't be putting in that pot. And instead of admitting and recognizing it, you're choosing to do it and say, oh, I didn't know nothing. It's like saying, I didn't put nothing in that pot. Yes, you did. Just
mm,
because you covered your eyes and turned your head don't mean it didn't happen. It still happened.
mm. Okay, okay. I have to agree with that. I mean, taking that perspective, I have to agree with that. Now, Mia, do me a favor because let me see, we've been on an hour 53, and I want you to go ahead and get everything ready so you can read your letter for us. Uh,
I've been
um,
so excited the whole time for that.
I listen. I can't wait to hear it. But real quick, everybody, while Mia is getting the letter together, real quick. On next weekend. Let me see. Hold on. Let me look at the date. Let me do this right because let me do this
Do
right.
it
That will
right.
be
Do
the
it right.
12th
Do it right.
of April. Mo's birthday is on Tuesday, April 15th. Happy birthday, Mo, in advance. Mo is going to be celebrating her 164th birthday.
Woo!
We
Made it to that century. Hallelujah, girlfriend.
I mean, and we are just thanking God that Mo lived to be 164 years old. We are so excited because we don't know anybody in the world that's Mo's age. You
That's
know,
damn near 200 years old. But she did it.
but
She
but
pulled some
she did
biblical
that.
things on out of there. Go ahead then, Mo.
There you go. I mean, Mo is, she's so old. Her and Moses played jacks together. And
Dang, I wonder who
Always.
won.
but we love Mo. We
That
love.
is so ageist. Don't do that.
Okay.
Now you know I'm a social worker. I'm a social advocate. I'm for equity for all. So don't say that.
Okay, I won't say it
We're
anymore.
thankful that she's here. Dang it.
Okay, you're
Yeah,
absolutely
like
right.
all 164 years.
So we'll be off on next Saturday, and then what we'll do is when we come back, we may do an actual recap, and I'm inviting all the ladies to come on that participated in the series, and we can recap what we talked about thus far. But real quickly here,
Yep.
women, Julie say women with glasses are hot. He talking about Angelica because
Hmm.
yeah, Julie is.
I
Now,
will be ignoring all advances in
Look,
public
I put my
education.
glasses up, but I just need that for driving.
Now, baby, I take these glasses off. I promise you, this laptop itself will be blurry. I won't be able to see nothing.
You
This
But
is
know.
you
not
know
a
what?
fashion statement.
If
This is
I
a
could say,
necessity.
if I could hop in real quick, I was letting everyone, well, I was letting Angelica say her part. But before we end, real quick, we didn't talk. You know, she was talking about men making a choice about falling in love or whatever. Well, what was the thing about? Uh,
I
Yeah,
I
didn't know
went.
I was in love. It just happened.
love
It
with.
just happened.
Yeah, yeah, it just happened.
So I agree with you 100%. But we're all what we're forgetting is that like the reason like the man is going back is like he's set. It's an addiction. Like it feels good. You know
Mm.
that's the cycle of addiction. Like not saying that
They little crackheads.
it
I
has
get it.
the underpinnings of an addiction. Like,
Yeah,
you
they
know,
look pretty
because
good.
the way it makes you feel. Perhaps it is because the person is not getting, and I'm gonna say person because it can go both ways. Uh that person may not be getting what they need at home, work wise, work
Mm.
I agree.
husband, you know,
I agree with that 100%.
you're spending a lot of time with the person that you work with, and you're starting to communicate more and starting to get them Google feelings that we talked about earlier. And of course, that may not be your intent, but look what the impact that it may have happened on your life. The impact that you may lose the person that you're in, that you're building a family with, or well, not even in that regard. I'll tell you, with my husband, when I met him, and I'm gonna go back to it, and then I'm gonna get into this letter whenever you're ready, Quincy.
Let me get ready, sis. I'm good.
I I wasn't trying to find no man. I was not. I was 27 years old. I was 27. I had graduated from college. I had a job at CPS. I had my own apartment. I had my daughter. I was doing fine. I was going to the club and having a good time. And I actually
Yeah,
met
it's
him in the
good.
club. Yeah, in the club. We all
Yeah,
family.
family.
Yeah, I met him in the club. And he was
Mm.
just fun to be around. And then it just the more we were around each other and he was sharing experiences with me, I was like, ooh, this feels nice. And I'm like, slowly but surely, like the guards were coming down, and I just said, you know what? I made that choice, Angelica. I was like, fuck it.
You only live once, dive. Fuck it.
And I dove right in. And so,
And it
you know,
it's beautiful,
yeah, I just
probably.
let it go. I just let it. I needed to let it go. Yeah, but I just let it go and just jumped on in.
That
But Quincy, I sent you a message on Facebook. If you could put that out for people, what it is. Remember, I was telling you earlier about my nonprofit organization. So
yes.
again, on how we are wanting to pivot the conversation around reproductive justice as it relates to men. And the reason I say pivot is because circumstances have changed. Access to abortion is not available. But again, reproductive justice is more than just abortion access. It's the ability for Black women to be able to stay alive, for our Black babies to stay alive in the reproductive justice space. So we are
Okay.
doing a survey. I just sent the survey to you on Facebook. If you could share it with your audience, we're trying to survey 300 men just to get a baseline survey of what they know about women in reproductive spaces, what medical options are available for abortion, and just some other general conversations, because what our goal is just to create a simple guide for men to normalize this conversation, because
Okay.
women have been at the forefront of this fight, and we need men to step up to amplify these voices, because we can't do this alone.
Thank you so much.
So,
And I did get the survey, and I will definitely share it with everybody
thank
to make
you,
sure
thank you,
that we
thank
take
you.
the survey so you guys
Okay, so it's about to turn up. It's almost. Is it time for me to read the letter?
it's on you.
Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is the dollar store notebook I wrote. I bought. It has a heart on it. I won't put anything else in here. So here's a love letter to my husband. It has been 5 years since you made your transition home to our Father in heaven. Man, it's not been the easiest not having you here to encourage and motivate me. You taught me so many invaluable life lessons that I will forever cherish. Like, look at situations from the left and from the right. Don't criticize the player, criticize the play. And that was from Lou Holtz. Of course, football, because that's something that we shared together. You taught me how to appreciate family, and more importantly, you taught me how to cook. We had so many fun experiences. You also told me that experiences are occurrences that you will always remember and how they made you feel at that time. You, Elijah, were indeed an experience. Thank you for raising a child that wasn't born to you, but you loved her as your own, little Ninu. Thank you for being the father of our two beautiful children, Carson and Skylar. Thank you for introducing me to and to be in the life of your boys that became our boys, Trey, Jordan, Brylan, and Devin. You got some children yet. He was from Louisiana, so that was just me being funny. What we built didn't go without its challenges. Some ways, somehow, we made it through. This, my dear, is one of those situations where I had to face losing you alone. However, I wanted to share some things that I wanted you to know before you left me. I'm sorry that I didn't understand the magnitude and gravity of your mental health challenges sooner. I knew that you were battling demons on a daily basis and it was a struggle. It took me reading your psychological evaluation to assess the depth of the disease you were living with. Cousin Gary and I even tried to stage a coup to rescue you, but it didn't happen the way that I thought. I so badly wanted to help you out of the love that I have for you. I wanted to save you. I loved you, but God loved you best. I'm doing the absolute best to rear and steer our son in the direction that will produce a productive and upstanding man that will make us proud. He's balling out at Montana State. Continue to be an angel of protection. Your baby girl is the glue that keeps our little family together. She has a heart of gold, and Jordan is going to make her a great husband. Graduation loading December 2025. And you would be so proud of Ninu. She's a rapper. Laugh out loud. She's a bright spot on social media, and she's advocating just like me. I went back to school, and I will be graduating in July. Boy, yeah, I got bored. Laugh out loud. Your little grandson, your little grandson Kaiser is the absolute cutest. I'm saying all this to say, I thank you for 22 years of sharing life and growing with you. I'm a much wiser, thoughtful, and compassionate woman because of you. You always made my happiness a priority. Even in your last words to me, you let me know that you would forever take care of me. I know that you want me to be happy and to live life like there is no tomorrow. You have and always will be that guy forever, Cuppy.
Oh wow. Wow.
That was beautiful.
That was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. How do you feel after reading that letter?
This was probably the most rewarding therapeutic experience that I ever did. It took me a while to get here, and my therapist told me not to rush, but this has been a process that has taken me since January to get ready to write this letter. And I've been putting it off, and on April 2nd, which was the anniversary of his passing, I sat down and wrote the letter. Um, like I said, I feel that this has been a barrier for me to move forward in my life
Right.
because I hadn't dealt with the grief of him knowing what I tried to do to save him. And what I thought I could do as a woman to save him, but it was not my doing. Black women, we put that trope on, that superwoman cape. I thought I could save him, but no, I could not. And you know what? I did my part. Our vow said, "Till death do us part." I did that. The day that my husband was supposed to come home was the day that he passed. And that's a whole nother discussion of the embarrassment that I thought people were gonna think of me like, girl, you've been going back and forth with this man for the last 6 years. You gonna let him come back again? I was dealing with all of that, but my heart said yes. Let him come back because when you were going through breast cancer, he was there for you. And your vow said, "Till death do us part." And he was battling a disease. And I would have been less than a woman of God and a person with humanity to not allow him back. And I believe God said, now is enough. And
Yeah.
he took him to be with him. And so this chapter of my life It's not closing. It's just a continuation. And I think this is going to be so healthy. I'm so happy. Like when I wrote it, I didn't cry. So I know that I'm in a good place. My husband, me and my husband have fun. And I know he will want me to keep going. And I am. So
That's
again, Quincy, thank you. It was all by design. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You are absolutely welcome, sis. You are absolutely welcome. Listen, you are welcome on any one of our shows at any time because I'm definitely going to be bringing you back on, and we're going to talk some more definitely about the education or miseducation of women's reproductive health. It's very, very important, and I definitely want to make sure that we tap into that because my
The survey is
premise
for men only. That survey that I sent you is for men only.
only. Okay,
Men
okay.
only. Men only. Please stress that. We don't men only.
I send it to nothing but the fellas. I got you. I
Yes,
definitely got you.
please. And go follow our page, Hoochies of Houston. We're on Instagram, TikTok. And again, if you weren't here, Hoochie stands for humans overthrowing oppressive, controlling, harmful institutions with effective solutions. Don't play with us. So go follow us. We out here in these streets and we on these politicians' necks. So go follow us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate that. Okay, so listen, we've been on 206. Real quickly, Mia gave us our plug. Real quick, Angelica and Alicia, thank y'all so much for coming. Angelica, I'll start with you. Tell us how we can find you, how we can reach
I don't have a social media platform like that. I'm just happy to be here. Your little gothic golden retriever always.
you. That's right. I forget that. No, no worries. Thank you so much, sis, for coming on. I know you'll be hitting me up a little bit later, but let your brother take a nap first. Uh, Alicia,
This
what you
time.
got?
This time.
This, please, this time, this time.
You can reach me on Facebook. You can reach me on Instagram. Just everybody see what my name is. Hell, I ain't worried about TikTok. Well, we there on another 75 days, but you know.
Oh
But
wow.
or
Okay.
you can, or if you like I said, you downtown at the West End train station. I'm in the building next door. You see me walking around, say hi. I ain't gonna bite you.
I bite on purpose.
All
Oh,
right.
my other
Oh,
social media platforms.
okay now.
Oh, I'm
I
on
like
I'm on
that shit.
Facebook. I'm on
Mhm.
Facebook, Mia Primes Williams on Facebook, on Instagram, Mia underscore Monroe 71. And then
Okay.
on TikTok, it's the Hoochie Mother, because I'm riding my daughter's coattail. I ain't gonna even lie. She's a social media influencer. She got all them followers. I'm like, let me jump on. So she's the
Mhm.
Hoochie God, so I'm the Hoochie Mother. So
Okay.
Okay.
Cool
Okay, that'll
beans.
work. Now, ladies, listen. Thank you so much for a wonderful, wonderful show. I'm going to give you guys a wonderful round of applause. I'm loving it. Thank you so much. I sure appreciate you, ladies, jumping on with me to discuss this great episode on today. Now, usually it is customary for us to give the people some encouraging words before we log off. And so, if you don't mind, I want you guys to get some encouraging words that you would like the Saints to hear on today. And remember, everybody, on next Saturday, we're going to be off. So we will not be on next Saturday. Devil and his advocate will be on Friday after next, and then after dark is coming. So if you guys have not seen me in April on MTG After Dark, of
Ooh,
course, Mia,
so much
you haven't been on After Dark, but Alicia has and Angelica has been on After Dark, and we talk about the nasty stuff.
Yeah, we
And
nasty on there.
let me tell
yeah,
y'all something. Let me tell y'all want Big Me? That's my. You want Big Me on the After Dog?
Go ahead, Big Me.
Let me let me
Go
let me let
ahead,
me
Big
let me
Me.
tell you something. My daughter and I, we have a podcast too, and we're
really?
gonna be putting on another. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We haven't been consistent, but we did a new episode yesterday, and we get down with it. Like we had one where you just need to go watch. And if you go, she's on YouTube. I think it's the Hoochie God on YouTube. It's 2 episodes, like 2 or 3 episodes on there. Oh, but no, we get with it. We talk. We
Okay.
have those conversations. Mother and daughter, we 25 years apart. And so how she thinks about sex, how I think about sex, like how we talk about it together, like, oh yeah, we're great.
I
We
love
need
it.
to normalize these conversations.
Absolutely. I love it. I
You
love it.
munching again?
Girl, okay, so that's my thing, y'all. I'm a snacker. Like, I will snack all day. So that's my love language. Gentlemen out there, if you want to date me, always have me some snacks. Like,
Absolutely.
snacks.
What are you, a Taurus?
No, I'm a Libra.
You know what?
Ooh.
I can see that. You definitely more of a person who likes balance. I could definitely see that. Definitely, I sense Libra all over you. Absolutely. I was thinking about Taurus because Taurus is love to
Like
snack
to
and eat.
eat.
Yeah, they like to eat. They like to eat
I'm a
all the time.
snacker. Let me tell you something. If I don't have keep healthy snacks in my house, I would be on 600-pound life.
Ma'am. You know Dr. Now don't pay them games.
That's why I keep cucumbers and stuff like that because I like to crunch and snack. And I'm getting old.
I
No.
hear you, sis. I hear you.
All right,
Okay,
let's
so
get to this.
Alicia, what you got? Do you have any encouraging words for us today?
Keep yourself clean. That's all I gotta say.
Keep yourself clean. Jesus.
Ah, woo!
And, and take it
Keep
however you want it. Take it
clean.
however you want it.
Listen, like Miss Crabtree used to say, keep Miss Puss clean. You got to keep clean.
Okay.
Miss Crabtree say, keep Miss Puss clean.
You
That's
can
what
take it how you want to keep yourself clean, physically, mentally, however. Keep
keep it clean.
yourself clean.
Keep it clean.
Love that.
Use some water. Go to therapy. Go and make up with him. Go make up with her. Go hug him. Go hug her. Keep it clean.
Yes, keep it
Keep it
clean.
clean.
There you go.
Okay, Jellica, what you got, sis?
Okay. Here we go. Y'all ready? Cool
Mhm.
beans. First, be mindful of your romantic crackheads. Don't be letting them get addicted and they fuck your shit up. Number two, Nerf gun wars win everything.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Lord, you know what? These encouraging words, boy, is something else. Listen, if I had to give anybody anything to on today to encourage you, one thing I think that I will tell you is that when somebody say that the stove is hot, believe them that the stove is hot. Do not put yourself in situations on a consistent basis to be burned by the
Boy,
same people. And listen, it's okay to get burned every now and then because if you are a person that uses the stove, every blue moon you may get burned. But don't
so
put yourself in a place where you have always been burned by somebody that doesn't have your best interest at heart. Get a brain, use some alcohol, and move on with your life.
and put a condom on to keep yourself from getting born. Some of us too old for that.
And
Keep
Angelica
it
said,
clean,
"Can I have
damn it.
y'all stick?"
You know, I'll say this. Prioritize your mental health.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Um, I think as a community, we take that ever so lightly. Um, Prioritize your mental health. And, people may say this as a cliche, and I'm a counselor, master's level counselor. It's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
Uh, it's okay not to be okay. When you're feeling depressed and you feel like it's impacting your inability to get up and move or your inability to keep your house clean. That's something else. Like, as a people, we always talk about, oh, clean, 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 clean. If you notice somebody's house is in disarray,
Ask them are they okay first, because that could be
that's, that's,
depression.
that's my point is rather than criticize, like my husband said, I'm using all his euphemisms, don't criticize the player, criticize the play. And then offer a hand of help because you never know what that person may be experiencing. And so when you see those warnings, when you see those signs that something may be a little off or they're not around people like they used to be, or they don't find enjoyment in things that they usually find enjoyment in, or they distance themselves. Take those as warning signs, as an opportunity to extend help, not to be critical. I'm a mental health first aid facilitator, and one principle is to listen without judgment. Y'all saw that TikTok trend and say we listen and don't judge.
And don't
Be
just
willing to listen and not judge.
And
that's right.
to piggyback off of that, and I promise I won't say nothing else. Make sure if someone is actually comfortable enough to come to you, you keep it there.
Yeah,
Don't pretend that your comfort is comfort when it's really gossip. Let's not do that, because that's a reason why a lot of people fall into depression or feel like they have to do it by themselves because they don't have nobody they can trust with that. Okay, I'm
that.
done. I'm done. That was my soapbox. It was my only serious moment.
Well, thank you so much, ladies. I sure appreciate you ladies coming on. Listen, you guys are welcome back. I like I said, I think we're gonna be on Saturday after next, and so we're gonna wrap this series up. You all are welcome. Let me know if you want to come on, and I will send you guys the information because we're gonna tie this series up with a nice little bow. Then get ready for the summer months. I can't wait for the no, yes, I can. I can wait for summer to get here because it's hot. It's hot. Yeah, and I don't like heat, and but summer is here almost. We are in spring now. Do us a favor, make sure that you guys are taking care of yourself in this weather. Texas is experiencing some cold front issues, which is bringing hail in some cities, snow in some cities, a lot of rain, thunderstorms across the state. So you guys do us a favor and be careful on today. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Thank you so much, ladies.
Drink your water. Drink your water. Please drink your water. Drink your
Please drink
water.
your water. Please drink your
Drink your
water.
water.
You know, Mia,
Yeah.
Lucia, Angelica, thank
Put that
y'all.
Pepsi down. I seen it, Angelica.
I thank y'all so much for coming on. We sure appreciate that. We're gonna see y'all next time on the flip side. Have a good day, and we're gonna speak to y'all again soon. Thank y'all
Bye,
so much.
y'all. Have a great day.
Bye.